The moment you power on your computer and watch your desktop environment come to life, you probably don't think about the years of engineering, design debates, community feedback, and silent innovation that brought it to that exact point. But every now and then, something happens in the Linux world that shifts the entire experience forward in a way that you can actually feel. This isn't just another update with a few bug fixes and visual tweaks. This is the kind of release that makes longtime users pause, lean back, and say, okay, this changes things. Because what we're looking at right now is arguably the most powerful update ever delivered to Linux's biggest desktop environment, and the impact it's about to have stretches far beyond just appearance or performance. It's about redefining what a modern Linux desktop can be. From the very first interaction, the difference is noticeable. The desktop feels faster, more responsive, almost like it's anticipating your actions rather than reacting to them. Windows open with a fluidity that wasn't there before, animations feel intentional rather than decorative, and everything seems to exist in perfect harmony. But what makes this update special isn't just speed, it's the balance between power and simplicity. For years, Linux desktops have struggled to maintain that delicate equilibrium, either overwhelming users with customization options or restricting them in the name of usability. This update doesn't pick a side. It merges both worlds in a way that feels natural. At the core of this transformation is a complete rethinking of how the desktop interacts with modern hardware. Multi-core CPUs, high refresh rate displays, and advanced GPUs are no longer optional luxuries. They are the standard, and this update finally treats them that way. The rendering pipeline has been optimized to reduce latency across the board, making every click, drag, and gesture feel immediate. You might not notice it in numbers, but you will absolutely feel it in usage. Even on mid-range systems, the desktop now behaves like it's running on premium hardware. But performance alone doesn't define power. True power comes from control, and this is where the update starts to reveal its depth. Customization has been elevated to a whole new level. Instead of digging through layers of settings menus or relying on third-party tweaks, users are now presented with a unified control system that makes modifying the desktop intuitive and accessible. Themes, layouts, behaviors, everything is just a few clicks away, yet none of it feels overwhelming. It's the kind of system that welcomes beginners while still satisfying power users who want to fine-tune every detail. The visual redesign plays a massive role in this experience as well. Rather than chasing trends, the developers have focused on clarity and consistency. Icons are sharper, spacing is more deliberate, and the entire interface feels cohesive. There's a sense of polish here that rivals and in some cases surpasses what you'd expect from proprietary operating systems. Transparency effects, subtle shadows, and adaptive color schemes aren't just there for aesthetics. They enhance usability by guiding your attention exactly where it needs to be. One of the most impressive aspects of this update is how it handles multitasking. The workflow improvements are not just incremental. They fundamentally change how you interact with your system. Virtual desktops are smarter, more dynamic, and easier to navigate. Window snapping has been refined to the point where arranging your workspace feels effortless. Whether you're managing a dozen applications or focusing on a single task, the desktop adapts to your needs instead of forcing you into a rigid structure. And then there's Wayland. For years, it has been the future that never quite felt ready for the present. But this update marks a turning point. Wayland support has matured significantly, delivering smoother graphics, better security, and improved compatibility. Screen tearing is virtually eliminated, input latency is reduced, and touchpad gestures feel more responsive than ever. It's not just a technical upgrade, it's a user experience upgrade that finally brings Linux in line with modern expectations. Security is another area where this update quietly raises the bar. Instead of relying solely on traditional permission systems, the desktop now integrates more advanced sandboxing and application isolation techniques. This means that even if an application misbehaves, its impact on the rest of the system is minimized. It's a level of protection that works behind the scenes, giving users peace of mind without interrupting their workflow. But what truly makes this update powerful is how it embraces the open source philosophy while still delivering a polished, user-friendly experience. Community feedback has clearly played a major role in shaping these changes. Features that users have been requesting for years have finally been implemented, and long-standing issues have been addressed with care and precision. It feels less like a top-down release and more like a collaborative achievement. The improvements extend beyond the desktop itself into the ecosystem of applications. Default apps have been redesigned to match the new visual language, creating a consistent experience across the entire system. File managers are faster and more intuitive, settings panels are easier to navigate, and even small utilities have received attention. It's the kind of detail-oriented approach that transforms a good desktop into a great one. Gaming, too, benefits from this update in ways that are hard to ignore. With better hardware acceleration, improved compositor performance, and tighter integration with modern graphics drivers, games run smoother and more reliably. Frame pacing is more consistent, and input responsiveness is noticeably improved. For Linux gamers, this is more than just a quality-of-life improvement. It's a step closer to parity with other platforms. Accessibility hasn't been overlooked either. The update introduces new tools and enhancements that make the desktop more inclusive. Improved screen reader support, better keyboard navigation, and more customizable visual options ensure that a wider range of users can fully engage with the system. It's a reminder that true progress isn't just about adding features. It's about making those features available to everyone. Underneath all these visible changes lies a foundation of stability and reliability. Countless bugs have been fixed, memory usage has been optimized, and the overall system feels more robust. Crashes are less frequent, and when they do occur, recovery is smoother. It's the kind of behind-the-scenes work that doesn't grab headlines but makes a huge difference in daily use. Another standout feature of this update is its approach to notifications and system feedback. Instead of bombarding users with intrusive alerts, the system now presents information in a more subtle and organized manner. Notifications are grouped intelligently, and users have greater control over what they see and when they see it. It's a small change that significantly reduces distractions and improves focus. The integration with cloud services and remote workflows has also been enhanced. Whether you're syncing files, accessing remote systems, or collaborating online, the desktop now provides a more seamless experience. It's clear that the developers understand how modern users work and have designed the system to support those workflows without friction. What's particularly impressive is how all these changes come together to create something that feels cohesive rather than fragmented. Each improvement complements the others, resulting in a desktop environment that is greater than the sum of its parts. It's not just about adding features, it's about creating an experience. For longtime Linux users, this update represents a validation of years of patience and belief in the platform. For newcomers, it removes many of the barriers that once made Linux feel intimidating. And for the broader tech community, it sends a clear message. The Linux desktop is not just catching up, it's evolving. As you spend more time with this new version, you start to notice the little things. The way animations guide your eyes, the way settings are organized logically, the way performance remains consistent even under heavy load. These are the details that define a truly powerful update. They're not always obvious at first glance, but they reveal themselves over time. And perhaps that's the most important takeaway. Power isn't just about raw capability, it's about how that capability is delivered. It's about making complex systems feel simple, making advanced features feel accessible, and making everyday tasks feel effortless. This update achieves that in a way that few others have. Looking ahead, it's exciting to think about where this momentum will lead. If this is what the Linux desktop can achieve today, what will it look like in a year? In 5 years? The foundation has been laid for a future where Linux is not just an alternative, but a first choice for users around the world. In the end, this isn't just an update, it's a statement. A declaration that the Linux desktop is ready to compete at the highest level, not by copying others, but by embracing its own strengths and pushing them further than ever before. And if this release is any indication, the best is yet to come.